So in this section, right, we're going to be doing problem solving using inequality. It's almost the same like you do algebra question. So there will be you need to form in algebra, you form an equation in X. So in this section, you form an inequality in X. So the steps are mostly the same. You need to know the unknown. That means you need to know what you are looking for, and that item that you are looking for will be represented by X. And then you need to write the inequality in X. So it's just that when you need to, of course, just now we already, in the first teaching worksheet, we already learned that these are the few symbols. So your inequality can involve any of the symbols, but there will be some keywords that you will need to know. So there will be some keywords that you will need to know. So other than the usual more than or less than, the more confusing terms will be the wording like at least. So for example, your mom like gave you a pocket money of at least $10. So if you think about your pocket money to be at least $10, it will be something like uh $10 or more. So it can be $10 or more. So the symbol responsible for this is usually greater or equal. Okay, so if your pocket money is $10 or more, that means, right, I can write X greater or equal to 10. Okay, so if let's say the symbol, the wording can be like at most. So if your mom gave you $50, at the most you can spend is $50. Of course, you can spend less than $50. So the symbol will be less than or equal. So these are the few that sometimes some students right, will mix up. So whether you use the right inequality sign, that will affect. If you don't use the correct inequality sign, the whole thing is wrong. So you got to interpret very carefully so as to use the correct inequality sign. There are 4 of them for you to use. Okay, and then you go to the basic solving. So the basic solving is to solve for 1x. Okay, whatever is it, you're going to solve for 1x, you're going to solve for 1x. So whatever is it, you're solving for 1x in your inequality. And then you can also draw your number line so that you can answer the question. So this will be the generic set. So like for example here, if you look at example 1, there's a very, very simple one. A paper file costs 40 cents. Find the maximum numbers of files that can be bought with $3. Actually, in this question, you don't even need an inequality, correct? So you mentally, you can just think about it. You got $3, you go to Popular, you try to buy a file, 40 cents. So you realize that the most you can buy is 7 files, because 7 files will cost you 280. But if you buy 8 files, it will cost you 320. I mean, that's very obvious. But your job is to do it in an inequality manner. Okay? So you need to adopt the correct sign. So don't go and do the primary school method. Okay, so don't just go and do this. Okay, so a lot of you, right? So sometimes if you don't know how to do right, this is what you will do. You will just do this, and then you press calculator. Okay, I mean that makes sense. I know what you're trying to do. So he can buy 7 files. Okay, so if you're doing it this way, the answer is correct. But then, right, you're not doing it in terms of inequality. The question didn't mention inequality, yes. But then, right, you need to do it in an inequality manner. Okay, or sometimes they will say very clearly. So in this case, right, what is the hint that tells you they're going to do by inequality? The hint will be the word maximum, the highest possible. So let's go through the step. Okay, what is the unknown, and you're going to do it by X. So the unknown is the number of paper file. It's not the maximum. Okay, so you will let X be the number of paper file, not the maximum. So later on, then I find the maximum X from my number line. But do not say that X is the maximum number of files. Okay, we'll just say X is the generic number of files. Okay, so what is the cost of one file? The cost of one file will be this. So what is the cost of X file? The cost of X file will be this. And you think about it, you are given $3 to spend. So the cost should be less than or equal to $3. You can spend up to $3, but you can always spend less than that. The cost can be $3 or it can be lesser. So it's a very critical thing that you must put an equal sign. If you don't put the equal sign, actually everything will go wrong. So it should be 0.40x less than $3. So remember, you're going to solve for 1x. So you do the normal solving, you will get a 7.5. And if you do the normal number line, so do your normal number line. So 7 and 7.5 is here. Okay, knowing that the file is a whole number, so you should find the biggest X. So the maximum file, the maximum integer X is 7. So along the number line, you can see that this is the whole number. So the maximum integer X is 7. So how do you answer the question? So 7 files can be bought. So if you realize it's the same answer, it has the same answer as this one. Apparently this one is much shorter, but you didn't formulate out in an inequality manner. Okay, so it's very important that you choose the correct inequality. The moment the inequality is wrong, most probably you're not going to get any marks at all.